for the latest on that NEC meeting. Mzwandile, good to chat to you once again. Now, first of all, there's been widespread speculation that the selection of a deputy president of the Republic could be looming over this weekend's meeting. Is there any such talk there in Irene?
We will have the opportunity perhaps to pose that question to the Secretary General of the ANC in the next hour. They would allow us to go inside to take the pictures, and after that we expect them to brief us about the agenda that they are dealing with today. The issue of the Deputy President, April, remember, remains the prerogative of the President. Yes, as the party, as the leaders meet, they possibly could consult on this issue, but it still remains the prerogative of the President, together with the issue of the reshuffling. They might use this opportunity to perhaps share a few views and decide what trajectory they need to take. And of course, that will then inform what the President in the next few days or weeks will do insofar as appointing his deputy or the undertaking the cabinet reshuffle.
Now, we also understand that the issue of the resignation of former President Jacob Zuma may also come under the spotlight. Is there anything to that effect?
Remember, after the special NEC that took the decision to recall former President Jacob Zuma, the members of the NEC were dispatched across the provinces to go and explain to the structures what is it that as the highest decision-making body in between conferences had done. So what we expect will happen today in this meeting is that there will then be feedback from those people who had been dispatched around the country to explain this decision. So they will give the feedback to the leadership as to how people responded, how they accepted it, what issues they raised. So, and then those issues then will help the NEC to then formulate a bigger issue in terms of how to handle matters of this nature. So it will indeed definitely come up in the form of a feedback from those leaders that had been deployed across the provinces.
And Mzwandile, what about the recent events surrounding the arrests of suspects that we saw in the cases that are linked to state capture?
Whilst that may not necessarily a specific item, given that they told us that the meeting will discuss the issue of the appointment of the chairpersons, the conference resolutions, and remember, some of the resolutions of the conference was the fight against corruption. So it may then arise in that context to say the state agencies must spare no effort in making sure that it arrests or it deals with those who are doing wrong things. So I think it will come in that context, because remember, this is a political party. They can't then discuss, for example, they can't instruct anyone in terms of the state agencies what to do, because that can be seen as blurring the party line. But in the context of a bigger issue that the party has decided to tackle, which is corruption, it will definitely arise.
And finally, can you just shed a bit more light? We understand that there will be some sort of election of what are known as sectional subcommittee chairpersons. What are these, and where do they fit in the working of the party?
Remember, the party normally chooses various subcommittees to focus on various sectors. For example, there will be the issues of communication, the issues of education and health, the issues of international relations. So all those issues, so they need to have the subcommittees and the chairpersons, and basically to make sure that there are certain people tasked with the responsibility of really looking into these issues In case, for example, you need to deal with the issue around communication. So you must know the position of the ANC and you must know who you go to, because that person is tasked with the responsibility of dealing with the issues of policy around communications. So that is in that context in which these chairpersons and these committees will be appointed.
Well, we have to end it there, but thanks very much, and we will, of course, cross back to you once there are any new developments. That there was our presidential correspondent, Mzwandile Mbeje, speaking to us live from Irene in Pretoria.